Bend the knee.
Valor Morgulis, everybody. This is Don Willie back again with another Ice and Fire Opinions. And as you can see, talking about your boy. Oh man, a lot of people's favorite. This guy right here, Ned Stark. And listen, you see what hat I'm wearing, so you know it's about to be trouble. Oh man. Listen, first off, I'd like to shout out everyone who's currently in the chat room watching me live. Got my man LT Giles, Sir LT Giles. Gotta remember to put the sir in there because he is a knight from the Hype Swatch, and also Misha Houston. And currently, that's all we got. You know what's crazy? Oh, and my man Frank from Way Off Topic Radio just showed up. And if you'll excuse me for one moment, gotta make sure I still got power for my MacBook, because the last thing we need to happen is for the stream to go dead. So, pardon me one moment while I make sure to put this up. So very, very unprofessional. Should have had that done already. Sorry about that. So, yeah, if you guys do not know the significance of me wearing this particular hat, this is when the character is truly about to be under fire. So, if you happen to be a Ned Stark fan, if you think he is the greatest thing since sliced bread, this is not the stream for you. Oh, no. This is not the stream you want to be watching. So, let's just get into this. So, when I had first seen the posters for Game of Thrones, now, I came into Game of Thrones a little late. I didn't start until, right before Season 3. And I'm talking about maybe a week, 2 weeks before Season 3. I had seen the posters for Game of Thrones. I had never heard of A Song of Ice and Fire. I had never heard of George R.R. Martin. I was, I'm into sci-fi and fantasy, but I'm not the biggest reader on the planet. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you oh, my bookshelf is filled to the brims. No, that would be a lie. That would be lying. I'm not here to lie to you. Hey, Cat just joined us. What's happening? So, I remember seeing the posters for Game of Thrones, and it's Sean Bean sitting on the Iron Throne with his longsword. And I'm sitting up there thinking to myself, okay, so what? HBO has decided now they're gonna do their own version of Lord of the Rings. I'm like, I don't want to see that shit. And forgetting about HBO's reputation. Yeah, forgetting about HBO's reputation for violence, nudity, and generally good storytelling. For whatever reason, I forgot about The Sopranos. I've forgotten about The Wire, and not in the fact of like I didn't love those TV shows, because I did, but in the case of everything is gonna kind of be on that level of quality. So I wasn't thinking about Game of Thrones at all when it came to that. So fast forward 2013, right before Season 3. I think either Breaking Bad had just ended, or they went on hiatus, or whatever may have you. And maybe Walking Dead was on hiatus as well. I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to tell you that, oh yeah, this is what I was doing, because I honestly don't remember. Shout out to Big E, who just joined in. spreading that salt. Uh, I just remember thinking to myself, okay, I had seen people tweeting about Game of Thrones a couple of years ago, and I was like, all right, this show's on HBO. Let me see what this is all about. So I remember I watched the first episode, and apparently when I watched it, because I had seen it on a Saturday, it came on a Saturday on HBO too, and apparently I missed the cold open with the White Walkers, because when I went to rewatch the show for a second time, that's when I saw. I was like, holy shit! I didn't remember seeing this at all. But you know, I actually was hooked by the end of the episode. I was intrigued. I was like, all right, I got to see what this is all about. Now, if you're just coming into Game of Thrones and you don't have any backstory about it, episode 1 is a little confusing. All you know is Sean Bean. We got Sean Bean. We got Lena Headey. We got Peter Dinklage. If you really know your actors and all that stuff, it's like, all right, we got some pretty known actors here. All right, and a bunch of new folks. All right, cool. But seeing that poster of Sean Bean, you're thinking Sean Bean is going to become the king. I don't know how he's going to become the king, but all right, cool. So I'm going through the season, and I'm not really paying attention. I'm just like, all right, Ned Stark is trying to do the right thing. Somebody killed his surrogate father. He's trying to figure out that mystery. He finds out about Cersei and Jaime. It's like, all right, I gotta tell the king. Then the next thing you know, his boy, who's the king, winds up getting murdered by a boar. And he's sitting up there like, all right, what am I gonna do? Enter Littlefinger. Now, I'm sitting up there thinking to myself, okay, they got Michael Carcetti from The Wire, like a Mayor Carcetti, to come in. He's gonna play another little squealy dude. He's not gonna be anything big. Hey, he'll be around a couple of seasons and then he'll be out of here. Oh boy, I was so wrong about that one. So when episode 7 or episode 8, when when you have that whole melee in the throne room where all of the Stark soldiers are getting wiped out and Littlefinger comes put the knife to his neck. I was sitting up there like, holy shit. Okay. They thrown that into the black cells. Okay. Yeah. This is a kind of fucked up situation, but yeah, he'll make it out. He's got to make it out. He's the lead character of the show. He's on the poster sitting on iron throne with the sword. So I'm sitting up there like, all right, cool. Then we get to episode 9, Baelor, and this is before I knew that the format was episode 9 is where all the hot shit goes down, and then episode 10 is we get to breathe a little bit and decide what we're gonna do from there and how to rebuild and go into the next season. So when Ned is dragged out the Baelor Sept and he's gotta make the confession of Joffrey is the rightful king. I was a traitor, blah blah blah. Joffrey comes off with his head. I'm waiting. I'm like, all right, who's gonna come and save him? Maybe Robb and his forces somehow made it to King's Landing, or somebody, sends in a raven and is like, oh, you can't do this, or somebody stop him, and then off with Ned's head. I'm sitting like, holy shit. Was not expecting that to happen. And like not all, but like most watchers of the show who just came in cold with no backstory whatsoever, they sit up there like, all right, the Starks gotta win this though, man. And we see what happened with the Starks. And shout out to Morgan Barker who showed up as well. And so, watching the first time, it's like, all right, that's fucked up what happened to Ned, but we're gonna make it through. We're gonna be all right. And going back and rewatching the second time, right? Because once you get through everything and you have time to sit and analyze it and all that other stuff, and especially getting into the books and seeing like, all of Ned's regrets and all of the stuff that he's like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, and Winterfell isn't supposed to be mine. Like, he spends a lot of the damn book talking about how he feels like either he didn't deserve being the Lord of Winterfell or it wasn't meant for him, and it's just like, dude, will you get over this depressed shit? Like, seriously, it's been almost 20 years, man. Like, alright, at this point it had been like, what, like 15 years? Yo, stop with all the fucking depressed. I'm not supposed to be here. It's not supposed to be my life. I'm supposed to just be Bannerman. I'm supposed to be Bannerman. Like, come on, man. You're the fucking Lord of Winterfell. Act like it. And, like, Cat is sitting there manipulating the shit out of him. Littlefinger's manipulating the shit out of him. Fucking everybody is just beating Son in the head, man. It's like, how does this dude just get beat in the head on a regular basis? Like, how have you even survived this long? I'm surprised Roose Bolton didn't kill you years ago. And, he's talking about how he's a soldier. Like, yeah, you ain't nothing but a soldier. Nothing but a damn soldier, man. Yo, shout out to Ion Throne. And I'm just sitting up there, like, the more and more I go back on it, because people talk about he's the honorable Ned Stark, the most honorable man ever. Honorable, 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 this, that, and the third. I'm like, yo, man. You have supposedly the rightful king of Westeros sitting in your house, and for years, you let that boy be tortured by your wife. Mentally tortured by your wife. Like, you let the world believe that he was a bastard, that he was your bastard or whatever. And I understand that he had to keep secrets. I understand that. But at the same point, it's like, oh, man. All right, so just because you had to keep secrets, you could have left, some sort of clues or something. I mean, look, if you had to claim that he was an orphan from one of your bannermen or something like that, man. Like, all right, like think about the whole Tower of Joy thing, right? So he goes to Tower of Joy, it's him, Howland Reed, and 5 other dudes, and everybody except for him and Howland Reed get killed, right? Supposedly, because remember, for those of you who do not know, when it comes to Ned's fever dream that he had in the Black Cells about the Tower of Joy, George has actually stated that Ned cannot be counted on as a reliable narrator for that situation, which means that the Tower of Joy did not go down the way we thought it did. So it is going to be interesting to see what actually happened at the Tower of Joy. I cannot wait to find out the truth. I mean, other than the whole thing with Jon being born at the Tower of Joy, we need to find out, what else went down there, because I had a theory, and this is getting a little off topic, not way off topic like my man Frank, but a little off topic. But I had a theory that Arthur Dayne is not, excuse me, pardon me. I had a theory that Arthur Dayne is not dead. Now, for those of you who come like, wait, but the show, nah, hey, show's different canon from the books, alright? Show did a lot of shit different from the books, so you cannot say, oh, because of this, nah. Just because it happened in the show, you cannot say that that's what happened definitely in the books, alright? So, Ned had opportunities to save his ass. He did. And for whatever reason, Mr. I'm so honorable, I'm gotta do the right thing. Oh, hold up. He was willing to bribe Peter Baelish for the gold cloaks. Now, would an honorable man try to try to bribe a pimp? You know, would would an honorable man try to bribe a pimp to basically to get the police on his side? Because remember, the gold cloaks are kind of like the police for King's Landing, right? So it's like, hell, when this whole thing was going down, when he knew, hey, Cersei's about to have my back in the corner right now. Listen, how much do I got to pay you to get the gold cloaks? To go and take Cersei if need be. That's not an honorable move. Mm-mm. Now, he might have been doing it for the right reasons, but the move was not honorable itself. Should have got his ass out of King's Landing with Renly, and like I said, him deciding he wanted to back Stannis just because, like, oh, he's not, he is the rightful heir. Joffrey is not, like, yo, man, listen, you talking all of this, what's rightful, this, that, and the third. Do you not realize that you are in a viper pit with no armor and no anti-venom? You about to get your ass bit. And instead of him sitting back and thinking, all right, well, how do I get out of this alive? He's up there with the real dumb look at the look on his face right now. And I know that's Sean Bean, but look at the look on his face. The whole look says, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. So it's just one of those it's one of those things where it's like, look, man, I understand you want to do the right thing, but the right thing first and foremost is keeping yourself alive so you can actually continue to do the right thing. Now, he had the right idea about bribing Littlefinger with the gold cloaks, but he should not have told Littlefinger, I'm backing Stannis no matter what. And you got to think about it, right? He trusted a guy who told him that I basically almost got killed because I challenged your brother for the girl that you married. I want you guys to think about that. If I had a brother who wound up dying and I married the girl that he was supposed to marry, I'm not going to trust the guy who's been in love with my wife for the past 20 plus years, who say, hey, yeah, I had a duel with your brother and he almost killed me. And somehow Ned was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, perfectly reasonable to trust this guy. No reason why he would possibly be holding any grudge against me or my family. I mean, my older brother almost killed him, and I married the girl that he wanted. Nah. Perfect. Yeah. This is a great situation. Trust that guy. This guy is going to be the guy who's going to help me to get all my goals accomplished. And then on top of that, again, remember, Littlefinger comes to him and says, look, I understand what you're talking about with Stannis being the rightful king. Pretty much the whole small council knows that Joffrey is not Robert's legitimate son. But Stannis is going to want to fuck him shit up. Alright? He's going to wind up tearing apart the kingdom. And that's not what we need. We're trying to keep shit status quo right now. And he told Littlefinger no. Littlefinger kept on pressing that point to him a few times. He was like, nope, I'm not going to do it. He's like, You really think that just because you said no, I'm not going to follow through with that plan, that means that he changed his mind about it? No, that doesn't mean he changed his mind. Just because you were stubborn about what you want to do does not mean that someone else changes their mind about what they want to do. You know, so oh man, and yeah, we got a few sparking some comments in the chat. Listen, in about 5 minutes, no, about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. In about 10 minutes, I want to get into it with the folks in the chat. I'll bring up the chat and we can, you know, we can have a dialogue because I want all the people who are gonna watch this later to see too. Um. So look, Renly was like, "Hey, you should make me the king." Which, listen, let's be honest, Renly would not have been a good king. So Ned was smart to turn him down. But I think Littlefinger's proposal of, look, you make peace with the Lannisters, we hold on to Joffrey, we groom him, we mold him, and if anything goes awry and he starts with the dumb shit, then we just expose him. And once we expose him, we get the Lannisters out of here. But for right now, this is what we need to do to make things status quo. And Ned is just saying like, nope, nope, nope. Not thinking like, yo, man. Like, Littlefinger already told him we got spies everywhere. Like I got my spies, Cersei's got the spies, you got Varys with the spies, all of that stuff. And instead of him thinking, all right, I got eyes and ears everywhere. I got all these people trying to approach me about all of this crazy shit. Somebody tried to kill my son. Now they had, like, yeah, like I don't understand why he believed Littlefinger's story about the dagger either. Because yeah, when you really sit down and posit this out, Littlefinger's story was there was a tournament. Tyrion bet on Jaime to lose, and when Jaime won, Tyrion Tyrion bet on Tyrion bet on Jaime to lose, but Jaime won or something. I forgot exactly what it was. The point is, Tyrion wound up getting the dagger. That doesn't even, that's some crazy shit. Why in the world would Tyrion want to all of a sudden just fucking kill one of the Starks? But whatever. Him going to Cersei, another, like, absolute genius move. Genius. Somebody please get that man an Einstein Award for his absolute genius in deciding, I'm going to go and tell Cersei, the most dangerous woman that I know her biggest secret, and I'm waiting for Robert to get back, and I'm going to tell him what you did. Brilliant. Absolute brilliant. Man. And I know I'm jumping all over the place here, but I got so much of this stuff, just floating through my mind right now. And let's just get back to Jon Snow real quick. So Jon, again, if everything is correct about R plus L equals J, and there's the big speculation that there are documents that are that prove that Jon is the rightful heir. That means that Ned knows about that damn document. Ned knows that he had the rightful heir to the 7 kingdoms sitting in his house. the entire time, and he let the kid grow up thinking that he was a bastard who wasn't going to get any kind of inheritance, and then he let him go to the wall. Like, yo, come on, man. There's no way that you're telling me, oh, nah, that was some good shit that he did. You know, Catelyn for 14 years referred to Jon Snow as bastard. Not his name, bastard. That means for years, whenever Robb would be playing with Jon, they play swords or do whatever, you know, it's time for dinner. Maybe you know, Catelyn comes around, she sees Jon and Robb playing or whatever. Robb, bastard. Time to go eat. Jon can't sit at the family table. He's got to sit off on the side by himself. Let's see what else. What that? If anything happened, Robb and Jon playing around. Robb gets hurt, by Jon, or Robb gets hurt by Jon. Catelyn comes around. It's like, bastard, what did you do to my son? He is your lord. He's the rightful lord of Winterfell. Or whatever the hell. The rightful heir to Winterfell. Whatever the hell it may be. It's just like, he had to go through years of that. Years. And it didn't get any better when the other kids came around. You got Sansa, who basically took after her mom. And even though she might not have called him bastard, probably the way that she said Jon, if ever she said his name, probably sounded almost like Cat saying bastard to Jon. And Ned let this go on. Now, Ned, was adamant about not spreading rumors about Ashara Dane, but the one thing that he could have done that he did not do was like, hey, Cat, I know you don't like the fact that Jon is here, but respect it. Call him by his name. His name is Jon. Don't call him bastard. All right? He has no claim to anything. He's not going to try to claim anything. He's going to grow up and always know that he's a bastard. You don't have to remind him every damn day that he's a bastard. Okay? So, to me, does that sound like the traits of the most honorable man ever? To let the rightful king, your rightful king, since we're going by this whole medieval society and the kings be respected and all, you let your rightful king think that he was a bastard, and then you let him go to the wall. Yeah. So very, very honorable. The most honorable shit ever. And I can see the comments coming now. What was he supposed to do? Robert would have killed him, blah 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 blah. Listen, I know it was a difficult situation, but I still think he could have found some way, even if it's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm not gonna, clue him in as to who he is just yet. I don't think that you allow your wife, especially if remember, this is supposed to be a patriarchal society. What the man says goes. All that other kind of shit. I don't think you let your wife talk to your son like that. he's your nephew. You don't let him talk. You don't let her talk to your nephew like that. And if it's all about the lines of succession and rightful kings and all that other shit, you don't let her talk to your king like that. And for 14 years, Ned allowed his king, his rightful king, to be disrespected in his own home. I just want you guys to dwell on that. He let his nephew and his rightful king be disrespected in his own home for over a decade. And then when he decided, I'm going to go save Robert Baratheon from possibly being killed by the Lannisters, instead of saying, you know what, I gotta do something to help this kid out. Nope. He basically allows him to join an order of servitude where he has to swear an oath, basically to never be the king he was supposed to be, and to never have children, and to stay as a servant, a nameless servant, for the rest of his days. Does that sound like the most honorable man in the world to you? Because it doesn't sound like the most honorable man in the world to me. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's take it to the chat. See what they're talking about in chat right now. Oh man, oh man. And if you guys have any questions, put your questions in the chat right now. I will start taking questions. Alright, so, and I see one right here. From Baal. I hope I pronounced that right. It's like, hi all, what if Jon is Robert's bastard son? That would be very interesting, but Robert has a ton of bastard kids, and we all know that, yeah, I mean, look, like, he doesn't have the Baratheon features. I mean, like, that was the thing that they made a big deal about in the book, is that, pretty much all of Robert's kids had the jet black hair and the blue eyes and whatever other features that made a Baratheon. So somehow I doubt it, that he is. But that is a good question, and I appreciate it. So Misha said Ned made Cat think that he had an affair. Now look, I don't know if you have read the books or not, but let's just think about medieval society. This was a common practice for high lords to have mistresses and to have bastards out there, right? And true fact that you guys may not know about, and this is something I learned a few, maybe about a year or two ago. The name Fitzroy, the surname, last name Fitzroy, literally means the king's bastard. So if you go look in your records and history books or whatever, and you see historical figures with the last name Fitzroy, that means that they were some king's bastard. And this is just a well-known, regular thing. This is not even like it wasn't shameful. These guys became lords and all that stuff, but they, obviously didn't become king because they weren't in the legitimate line of succession, but they got to have their own lands and titles. So just think about that right there. This is the society that Catelyn grew up in, and think about it. You have all these people in these different regions who grew up knowing that all right, if you have a lord and that lord has a bastard, they have, these names based on the different regions. And in the book, Catelyn says that she would have she would have forgiven Ned for having a bastard, except he brought the bastard home. So it wasn't even the fact that he had an affair. It was like, all right, you had an affair. I know you had an affair. I expected you to have an affair because you would be gone for 9 months or a year or whatever. But uh, I didn't want you. I didn't want you to bring the kid home and raise him like your own son. He was supposed to be out of sight, out of mind. You should have shipped him off with a cousin or do some other shit like that. And that's another crazy thing. Is it me, or do these families seem very small? Because like we don't hear about Stark cousins, aunts, like pretty much like if all of these Starks died, done. Like we know about, like, you got the Lannisters of Casterly Rock and the Lannisters of Lannisport, and there might be some other, smaller, minor Lannisters, but other than them and the Freys, yeah, we really don't know about any other like families, like where like the families have other like cadet branches. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. I'm like, how are you really telling me there's no other Starks out there? There's no other fucking Baratheons? Nothing? After thousands of years, how the hell they keep the family so damn small after thousands of years there? All right, that to me is a little crazy. Okay, let's see here. All right, so from Diana Prince, why didn't Howland Reed join Robb in the war? Honestly speaking, I really have no idea. Um, it's look, I'm thinking because of stuff that happened to do with the Tower of Joy. There's something with Howland, excuse me, with Howland Reed and the Tower of Joy, and just that whole connection there. That Howland Reed is holding on to something, and he's like, "Yo, I can't." Like he couldn't get over what happened. Like he's been shell shocked or something. It's something is up with him where he's just kind of he's too shook to go to war right now, and I don't know what the deal is. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was never heralded as some great warrior to begin with, but yeah, when Ned Stark was your friend, you're trying to get revenge, or not get revenge, but avenge his death. Hold up the man's memory. I mean, like if that's your dude, you're supposed to ride for him. And Howland Reed is not a rider. Sent his kids like, oh yeah, go take Bran to the Three-Eyed Raven. But yeah, and this goes into the next question here from Anthony Vasquez. Where in the world is Howland Reed? That is what we are all wondering. He's in the fucking moving castle right now. And yeah, man, nah, he on the bullshit. He's absolutely on the bullshit. Oh man. Okay, and so next one from Mega Liam Gaming. Do you think Stannis Baratheon is the rightful heir and not stupid Danny? Okay, wow. Interesting. All right, so that is hilarious. Look, if we're going by right of succession, right of conquest, etc., etc., Stannis is the rightful heir. But that doesn't mean that Daenerys does not have a claim. I mean, Daenerys has a claim to the throne. Stannis has a claim to the throne. Y'all two duke it out and see who comes out on top. That's pretty much my answer for that one. Okay, let's see here. From Way Off Topic Radio. Let's see here. Basically, he's like, what is Jon's real name? What is Jon's real name? Alright, I had made a video about this like maybe 2 years ago, asking that question. Because I was always thinking, I'm like, I doubt Jon is his real name. He's a Targaryen. You know, why not give him a Targaryen name? So I was thinking about names like Aemon. Because, you know, when he was younger, he always fantasized about being Aemon the Dragon Knight. Like, if you wanted to stick with Jay, he could be Jaehaerys. I mean, there's a few names, and now with the whole thing that happened with the show, it's brought up even greater speculation as to what his name could be. Because they really cheapened out on us and didn't. They're like, oh, his name is like what? People been going back and trying to lip read and boosting the audio and all that other shit. And we got nothing. That they fucking played the shit out of us with that one. Like, his name is like, oh, come on, really? You made sure that she did not mouth a real name for that one. That's foul. Yo, foul, HBO. Foul. I swear it. On the old guys and the new. Foul. Oh, man. Okay, let's see what else we got. Let's see here. All right, so from Anthony Vasquez, do you think the Iron Bank will bring forward their own claimant to the Iron Throne if Cersei doesn't pay up? Yo, you know what, man? I think if Cersei does not pay up, the Iron Bank hires the Faceless Men to start knocking off people to send a message. I mean, because I don't think you just bring a bank of Bravos in. I mean, and that would be crazy. Like, all right, so if you're talking about the show, I don't know that you could introduce a character like Aegon, even if it's not Aegon. I don't know if you can even introduce an Aegon-like character at this point in time. I mean, like, we got like what, 10 episodes left of the series. Forget about the season. We got 10 episodes left of Game of Thrones, period, point blank. I don't think you can just introduce some new dude at this particular point in time, especially when the White Walkers are on the move, and we gotta get the battle with the White Walkers and the resolution to the story. And if they do introduce like some rando or even an Aegon at this point, like, yo, man, like, they're gonna have to knock him off within a couple of episodes, because you're not gonna have no Aegon for season 8. It would be too convoluted of a story. That means you gotta bring dude in the next couple of episodes and knock him off damn near immediately. So I don't see how that happens, but who knows? Dan and Dave, look, they're doing well so far with season 7. I would hate for them to do that and totally destroy the good credit that they're building back up right now. So, all right, for Morgan Banker, do you think Jon will kill Dany to create Lightbringer? So this is one that I've heard from my man Tony Teflon from probably a few years ago. And people have been kind of regurgitating this. So if you heard it anywhere else, uh, recognize that the first person to say that was Tony Teflon, and probably a couple of years ago. So if anyone else is popping up with that now, know that they are thieves, liars, charlatans. Nah, let me stop fucking around. But I recognize that theory. I do not believe that theory. Personally, since this is a fantasy story, my thinking for the end of Daenerys Targaryen is that she will, at the end of the story, be offered the Iron Throne and decide that the cost has been too heavy, and she will decide to get on Drogon's back and say, fuck this shit, I'm out. I'm going across the Sunset Sea. I ain't fucking with y'all motherfuckers, man. This shit is too crazy. No. No, no, no. Now, what does it say? Ion, I'm still seeing the chat on my screen, so I don't know what happened. Let me make sure the streams. And it's still saying I'm streaming good, so yeah, you might have to, refresh your computer real quick. Alright, let's see here. Okay, so excuse me, Cadian Sutherland. So I know, yeah, you're probably talking about. Okay, well, no, Diana Prince is saying Aegon here for Jon Snow's true name. You know what's crazy? So spoiler alert. The plot leaks came out earlier this year or late last year or whatever. And one of the plot leaks said that Jon's real name is going to be Aegon. I do not believe this. Rhaegar already had a son named Aegon. How are you going to have Aegon? Aegon dies, and then you name the next son the one of the previous. So no. I call that false. Lies, deception, chicanery. No. Let's see. Also from Katie and Sutherland. What do you think Sam will find out from copying the scrolls? He looks disappointed, but it's a great setup. Yeah, I think that Sam will find something about how the White Walkers were defeated. I mean, those scrolls look like they were, possibly hundreds or maybe thousands of years old. And they may be sections of, stories from the Long Night that never made it to that big book that him and Gilly were reading about the Tales of the Long Night. So, yeah, if anything, I'm thinking that Sam finds out something about how the White Walkers were defeated, or maybe the secret to Valyrian Steel. I mean, because Jon did tell Sam that his Valyrian Steel sword worked. So, for me, it's either going to be something about the White Walkers, something about Valyrian Steel, or the third thing I'm thinking, how to hatch a dragon egg. Just throwing out something random. So, let's see here. Okay, so Paco H asks, how will John become king in the books? Now, if you're talking about king in the north, it could be it could be a similar situation where there's an incident with the White Walker. I mean, because no, let's see. So Stannis is still alive. Stannis obviously isn't going to allow John to call himself king. Um, you know what? I don't know that John becomes king in the North in the books. Uh, honestly speaking, I don't know that John ever actually becomes king. I mean, you got to think about the whole bittersweet deal. You know, John doesn't want to be king. John doesn't even know that he is king. So I think that John actually might not become king. We might see a deal where John does not actually become king in the books, and that could be part of the whole bittersweet deal. Or if he does become a king, he could have he could could be forced to become the new Night King or Night's King or whatever may have you, and have to, be the guy who stays in the lands of always winter. That might be what he has to do in order to maintain peace. And that might be bittersweet. It's like, yeah, John has a kingdom, but his kingdom is the kingdom of the dead. Which that would be kind of fucked up. Alright, let's see here. So from Diana Prince, what's up with Septa Unella and what was done with her? Man, I'll be honest with you. Uh, it seems like she might get raped to death. You know, yeah, the mountain probably raped her to death. Unfortunately, uh, and that's damn. That's oh man, that is super horrible to think about, and just all kinds of fucked up, just bad, just all kinds of bad, nothing good whatsoever, nothing good. So unfortunate for Septa Unella. Uh, she shouldn't have been fucking with Cersei so hard. All right. Mm. All right. All right. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So from Anthony Vasquez, says, I think the Queen of Thorns pointed out Widow's Well for a good reason. I think it's Lightbringer. What do you think? Or maybe will it kill a White Walker? Will James? I guess he's talking about Jamie. Will he kill a White Walker with it? Huh. I mean, look, they're gonna need all the Valyrian steel they can get, obviously, right? Um, but in terms of Widow's Wail being Lightbringer, remember, all right. So, I mean, I think I understand what you're trying to get at with the whole name, but remember, Nissa wasn't a widow; she was a sacrifice. So, like I understand where you were going with that, but yeah, it's one of those things where I don't think that you can actually attribute that one to the whole Lightbringer Nissa thing because of the fact that she was not a widow, she was the sacrifice. So, but I like where you were going with that. Good, nice thought, nice thought. Uh, from SW. Um, I don't know if you were just quoting Euron. Oh, Diana, you gotta go. All right, you have a good night. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for watching me live. I'm actually gonna be ending in a few more minutes. Anyway, no SW. I do not like a finger in the bum. Not at all. No, 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 no. You know, it's funny. I was watching. I was watching something. I forgot whose channel it was. One of the videos earlier this week, and they were saying that that they thought it was Jamie who actually liked the finger in the bum. And I was like, wait, what? I missed that. Yeah, I missed that. I'm like, I gotta go back and watch the episode. They were saying that when Cersei, came through and decided to, you know, give Jamie the slurp off of his life, that she actually, started sticking her fingers up his ass, and I was like, uh, okay, I'm gonna have to rewatch that. I didn't get that out of there. I was just, just kind of shocked that she came and, took down his pants and, you know, got the slurping like that. That's what I was kind of shocked by. Okay, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch after finish out of here. But let's see here. All right, for Morgan Banker, do you think wow, that's kind of fucked up. That was crazy. Do you think Nymeria will come back again, and how? I'll be honest with you, man. The direwolves are a sore subject for me. I like the direwolves a lot, and it seems as though Dan and Dave are kind of like fuck those wolves every chance they get. Uh, I mean, listen, we haven't seen Ghost since like episode 2 of last season. Or episode 3. Whichever episode Jon came back, we haven't seen Ghost since then. Jon woke up, Ghost kind of limped away, and we haven't seen him since then. So whichever episode it was that Jon Snow got resurrected, like where he was like fully resurrected, we haven't seen him since then. So Nymeria, will Nymeria come back? I'd like to say yes. But if Arya is still like, look, Arya's going north. She's not in the Riverlands anymore. If Nymeria is staying in the Riverlands, then Arya, then she's not coming back. Because there's not gonna be any reason for her to come back. I think they wanted to show that. They wanted to illustrate that. Just the way that Arya has morphed into someone different and is leading her own life, that Nymeria has been doing the same. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I honestly do not know. Somehow I doubt it. Let's see here. Okay, so from let's see here. So from James Lycan, have you seen footage of Brienne and Arya sparring? I have not. I have not. Um, yeah, so I don't even know what else to say about that. I haven't seen that footage. Okay, so from Frank from Way Off Topic Radio, Will Bran be the cause of Mayor Carcetti's death by a girl who used to have no name, then no name, and no, who used to have a name, then no name, and has a damn name again? Uh, no, Mayor Carcetti's death will be caused by himself. You know, I've said before that Peter Baelish is actually one of my favorite characters. If he's not my favorite character, he's somewhere in the top three, at least. But he deserves to die. He's going to die, and it's going to be his own fault. Now, I believe in the show he will die, uh, probably within the next two episodes. But in the books, I think he will become king for a temporary time. And I'm talking about like very temporary. So, yeah, you know. Alright, I'm gonna rock out for like 5 more minutes, answer some more questions, and after that, I'm done because I gotta go back to do work. I'm always working. Always working. Shout out to my man Joe Swag who just entered the chat room. If you guys got any more questions, throw your questions in real quick. 5 more minutes and then I am donezo. And another thing about dumbass Ned. Since we're on the topic of Ned Stark, man. Shout out to Morgan Banker. Thank you for joining tonight. I will see you on Sunday. Alright. My man Lenny Lopez, what's poppin', man? Lenny, message me on the message part of the channel or whatever, man, and we'll talk, man. Holla at me. So real quick before I get to Anthony's question. So Ned. I'm not sure if there's ever another character who I don't think there's ever gonna be another character who will be liked as much in the beginning, and then when you get back to seeing him later on, that people are gonna be like, "Nah, that guy was actually pretty stupid," you know. And unfortunately, it's kind of like that for all the Starks. Not all the Starks, but Rob, John, Catelyn, who like I don't consider her to be a damn Stark, but yeah, the Starks, with the whole I'm on the rule and all that other shit, man. I don't know. I don't think there's ever gonna be another, especially a group of characters. I don't think there's gonna be another group of characters who are liked so much in the beginning, and then you come to find out it's like, nope, we do not subscribe to what these people are doing because what these people are doing is dumb. It will get them killed. Man. Shout out to AU Pack Mule. And also Jake Cruz. Alright, so let's get to these last couple of questions. Alright, so from Anthony Vasquez. What do you think Theon's next move is? His next move is to do something that is going to get him killed. Look, I think he wants to be the good guy again. He wants to have some redemption. But in his redemption, He will die. He absolutely will die. No doubt about it. 100%. He is going to try to save Yara, and in the attempt, or in the actual getting her rescued, I think he probably gets a sword through the back, and then falls off the side of a ship into the water and to Theon. That's what I'm thinking. For Misha Houston, do you think Ilaria will ever get out of herself? Hell no. Ilaria is done for. She's done. She's done. Done. Yeah, I don't even. There's nothing more to say about that. Ilaria's done. Okay, Kat, what do you let's see? What do you think could have been Ned's biggest mistake? Ned's biggest mistake was listening to his wife, and I'm not saying that to be misogynistic or anything. I'm saying that because if you go back and read her chapters and how she felt about Ned and basically pushing him to go to King's Landing, his worst mistake was listening to her. Let's see here. Yeah, Lenny, you're right. Ned got killed because he was an idiot. Let's see here. Lenny, man, every time you pop in, you like the episode sucked. You've been saying that like the last. You've been saying that the last couple of weeks, man. You're bugging, Lenny. You're my guy, but nah, man, no. Episode 3 actually did not suck. I liked episode 3 better than episode 1, but less than episode 2. I gave episode 3 a 7.5. All right, Joe Swag, I'm gonna need you to repeat your question because, all right. So you're asking, like, will he fail or succeed then die? I'm not 100% sure what that question is in reference to. Okay, let's see here. Oh, okay, talking about Theon. He will succeed at saving Yara. Yara is going to be able to escape, and just as Theon is, like, it'll be something crazy where Theon goes, rescues Yara, gets her off to a boat. He's fighting off somebody. Yara's like, Theon, come on. They think he's about to get, they're about to get away. And next thing you know, Theon gets a sword through the back. Yara's just looking like, oh my god. And then sword gets pulled out of his back, and Theon is just there, and he's like, it falls off the side of the boat into the water. That's the end I see for him, personally. Let's see here. Let's see. Why would the Sword of the Morning try to protect Jon or Lyanna from Ned? And that's the thing. Like, we don't know that Arthur Dayne was trying to protect Jon and Lyanna from Ned. You know, like I said, I said this earlier. George has stated that when it comes to the Tower of Joy, that Ned is not a reliable narrator. He's not a reliable narrator, so you cannot count on seeing that what happened at the Tower of Joy. That what we saw in the fever dream is what actually happened. So we'll see. Hopefully sooner rather than later. All right, so from Cat, let's see, Sarah Charles. I do believe I answered the Theon question just recently, so you might have came in just after I answered that one, but he will succeed and then he will die. Let's see here. All right, so from Cat, do you think Sansa will also take part in the battle with the White Walkers? Good question. Hmm. No. No. Sansa's not a fighter. Sansa is not a fighter. She is look, Jon is probably gonna come back and is like, hey, look, I appreciate you holding down the fort, but I think you need to go back with the Knights of the Vale to the Eyrie, stay there, be safe. All right, let's see here. I don't know if Sansa's waiting to betray Jon, but she does want power now. She definitely does want power. All right, let's see here. So, Todd Fowler, do you think there is a spy in Daenerys' camp? I mean, here's the thing, man. Right? Based on what has happened to Daenerys in terms of her failures, it would make sense if this was real life. But since this is Game of Thrones, and since they are trying to compress so many events, no, there is not a spy in Daenerys' camp. Everything that has happened basically is because of Littlefinger Travel Services getting you where you need to be, which is how Euron is able to show up any place at any time. He's using Littlefinger's teleporter. Littlefinger, listen, you guys don't know. Littlefinger is actually the richest human being in the Game of Thrones universe. He is. All because of that damn teleporter. The man, like, forget about magic. He's like, I don't need magic. I got technology. My technology is marvelous. It is great. It is spectacular. When I teleport people, I teleport them bigly. You're gonna love it. It's great. Use my teleporter. That is what happens, right? Like there's no spy. And honestly speaking, the one person who should be a spy was like Varys. Varys has been failing miserably as a spy master as of late. Like, there's no way he shouldn't have known about the Lannisters moving their army from Casterly Rock to go to Highgarden. This is Varys. Mr. I've got little birds everywhere. I'm the spider. Come on, man. Like, nah. Oh man, oh man. All right. Let's see. If Sansa finds out Jon's not Ned's son. Yeah. If Sansa finds out that Jon is not Ned's son, Uh, she can use that to get rid of him. She can, because he would totally be out of the line of succession based off the fact that it's his mother who was the Stark and not his father. So yeah, definitely. Mm-mm-mm. But yeah, yeah, you know what? Let's run over a couple of Littlefinger's teleporter things real quick. So you got Bran coming to Winterfell, right? No Raven. There should have been a Raven, correct? I mean, if Bran was at Castle Black and he's going from there to uh to Winterfell, should have sent a Raven like, "Hey, we got your brother here. We got Melisandre to Dragonstone because I want you guys to think about this. Um, Dragonstone. If you're talking about Dragonstone being occupied by Daenerys Targaryen during a time where basically now it's open war again, who did she have ferry her from mainland Westeros to Dragonstone? Nobody. She used Littlefinger's transporter. All right. Euron being able to be everywhere at any damn time. You know, not only is it a teleporter, he's got a cloaking device. Um, let's see here. What else? What else? What else we got here? Olenna Tyrell, right? Because first off, we didn't hear anything about her saying, "I'm going back to Highgarden." Once you go back and watch episode 2, she never said anything about "I'm going back to Highgarden." And even if she did, how did she get there? Littlefinger's teleporter. Littlefinger Travel Services, getting you where you need to be. Let's see here. And that's just what I can think of for right now. I'm pretty sure because I'm gonna go back and watch the episodes again. You know, all three of them. And you know what? I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna do a video. Top 10 uses of Littlefinger's transporter. All right. So from Way Off Topic Radio, does Yara have a tongue? Ooh, bro. Oh man, that would be so crazy if Theon comes to rescue Yara and finds out that yeah that she no longer has a tongue, that Euron cut her tongue out. Wow. I mean, look, the actor who played Euron, who's playing Euron, said that he's going to make Ramsay look like a little boy. That'd be one of the moves. That would be. All right, another one from Kat. Do you think Varys might have lost his master of whisper skills? Uh, it, listen. It's not that he lost his master of whispers skills. Unfortunately, this is This is bad writing for Varys in particular. Let's see here. All right, so from DJ, it says give the gift of life to someone, maybe Daenerys. Oh well, Jon give the gift of life. To Daenerys after he kills her to create Lightbringer. See, that's the thing. All right, so I don't think that if Jon winds up killing Daenerys to create his ever flaming sword Lightbringer, um, I don't think he will be able to bring her back. I think part of the whole thing is like, all right, well, if you kill her, she stays dead, and that's how the magic is retained in the sword. Because in the whole thing about the Nisa Nisa legend, Nisa Nisa's soul went into the sword Lightbringer. So I don't think if Jon kills Daenerys in order to make whatever sword become Lightbringer, Daenerys is dead. She's not coming back. It's done for. It's a wrap. And honestly speaking, I don't think Drogon's letting that go down. If Jon kills Daenerys, I think Drogon eats Jon. So yeah. Sorry. Let's see here. Okay, so from Todd Fowler, who is the character that fans dick ride the most? I would say Daenerys. Watching reactions, reviews, past episodes, fans were acting surprised by her already bitchy attitude. Um, Character that people dick ride the most. Um, Tyrion. That's only because he's funny, you know. But he's been less funny as of late. Um, so I guess runner up would be Danny. Another runner up. I don't know if I'd call Jon another runner up. It's a hard one there. Very difficult. All right. Okay. So Bile. I'm sorry. Is it Ball? Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. But it was like, all right, did Danny not send? And I guess he's talking about Olenna Tyrell. Send her there to get supplies ready for army. Okay, see, here's the thing. When did she leave? How did she get there? What ships? We got no info on that. She was at Dragonstone, then she's at Highgarden. We got absolutely no clue as to how she actually got from Dragonstone to Highgarden, because the only ships that we know of from Daenerys that left from Dragonstone to go anywhere was the Greyjoy fleet that got ambushed by Euron. And I could totally be wrong. Maybe there's a line in there somewhere. I don't remember that though. Mayor Carcetti is not a Romulan, but he is a collaborator. Mm. All right. See, you guys are doing like, yo, you know what? It's funny. You guys do this to me all the time. Like, I get an influx of people when I'm actually trying to leave, and then the next thing you know, shit winds up lasting way longer than expected. Okay, so from Joe Covert, will the Targaryen blood in Jon become, I guess, become known when he survives Blasphemous Dragon or fire, or is it? Danny is the only fireproof Targaryen. Because if you think about it, um, back in what was it, season one? Season one, when Jon saved the old bear G.R. Mormont from that white. Remember, he the um picked up the lantern by hand and threw it at him, and burned his hand. So yeah, Jon is not fireproof. I think in the show they've given all of these characters like where people in the books, some of them have multiple powers. They've tried to basically chop it down. It's like, okay, this character gets this set of powers, this character gets this set of powers. So that's why Arya is a faceless man, but she is not a warg. Bran is the warg, all around skin changer, but I don't know, maybe there's some other like that's yeah, so Bran is the all around skin changer. Arya is the faceless assassin. Jon is the guy who just came back from the dead. Daenerys is fireproof. Sansa, is just annoying as fuck. And that's all their powers. Yeah. Oh, man, oh, man. All right, look, people. I've been on for almost an hour and a half at this point, which is almost an hour, no, almost a half hour longer than I expected to be. But this is great, 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 great. So glad for everyone who showed up tonight. Uh, and grateful to those who will be here next time. I'm not sure what character I'm doing next week. Uh, if you have any suggestions, please leave it in the comments section. Yeah, because I have no idea what character I'm doing next week whatsoever. After the season is over, the week that the season ends, though, I will be doing Euron Greyjoy. I'm waiting because I want to see how his character pans out. I don't think he's dying this season. I think he dies sometime next season. But I want to see how the character pans out. But yeah, like I said, if you guys have suggestions on the character that you would like to see me talk about, leave it in the comment section below. All right. Shout out to everybody who came in tonight. Shout out to all those who will be watching later. And look, you guys already know the deal when it comes to me. Rate, comment, subscribe, share. Tell your friends to come back for more. That has been my time. I will be back next week with another Ice and Fire opinion. And this is Don Willie saying, Valor Doharis.